Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Venus conjunct one's natal Black Moon Lilith. Now, when we're talking about transits that involve Venus, it can be about what we love, enjoy, value, matters pertaining to self-worth, self-esteem, and how we feel about ourselves. When you have this transit conjoining the natal Black Moon Lilith, this could be, well, this could be about some love or maybe enjoying, you'd say enjoyment, valuing, and self-worth that is connected perhaps with very erotic sexuality. This is a lot of negative connected with the Black Moon Lilith. So it's really not, the love and the enjoyment and what you value is not necessarily, being impacted positively. It could be where, the something with the negative manifestation of the sign, and say if it's in Capricorn, could be very cold, even tyrannical, or very callous side to a person. Might be tied in, with their own, what, as far as their love in their life. Maybe it's repelling some people, as an example, is using the example, of course, is the transit happening in Capricorn. And also, the Black Moon Lilith, it's a negative manifestation of the sign. It's all, very, very negative expression, but it's also, could be connected with nefarious activity. It can be that maybe somebody you're in, connection with, or a significant friendship might be showing some, malevolent side to him or her that maybe you didn't see before. And it's also, Black Moon Lilith is associated with suffering, so this could impact your love life, maybe your enjoyment, how you feel about yourself. Say if it's in the 12th house, it could be something with secret sorrow, something that you might have a hard time actually bringing out. Now, the Black Moon Lilith is also connected. When you're talking about what one doesn't want to unveil and what one may suppress. So if you have this transit in the 12th house, it's even doubly something that might be hidden or kept behind closed doors. It could be a clandestine affair. You're talking about Venus can involve matters with the sensual, the feminine side of sex, and then you have the Black Moon Lilith on top of that. It's very erotic energy, and the 12th house is the house of clandestine affairs. It could also be where Venus, it could be, maybe it's about showing more love to a formidable adversary, somebody that you might have had some issues with in the past and was some perpetual foe. If it's in Pisces, it might be flavored with forgiveness and trying to overlook the transgressions of this person. And again, this could be about what you don't, the Black Moon Lilith being about what you don't want unveiled. And it could be valuing that at this point in time, what you want concealed, what you don't want to come out of the closet, basically. Say if this is in Gemini, it could be some criminal, might be some criminal record connected with forgery or plagiarism. It might be theft, some kind of mischief, like malicious mischief. Say especially if it's in the 8th or the 12th house, because the 8th house in astrology corresponds with crime. 12th house is connected with imprisonment, incarceration. And also too, this could be about something. You're looking at this as well. The Black Moon Lilith can be associated with what puts one in a state of trepidation or fear. And in some cases, it could be, maybe it could be a lover. It could be somebody that's you're in a significant friendship with. Maybe it's just simply about enjoyment, and maybe allowing yourself to have some fun, to have some enjoyment at this time. Say if it's in Sagittarius, it might be something connected with the sports or the outdoors, or even something of a religious nature, or just simply being jocular and just telling jokes. It's just something. Anyway, And it's also about where, you might be more enamored with the expression of your erotic side. The Venus can be about what we love, what we enjoy. Um, you're talking about the Black Moon Lilith can be that very strong, uninhibited, erotic side, uh, of a person. I mean, say if this is in Scorpio, it could be very passionate, very, very powerful, uninhibited sexual energy. Um, might be expressed almost relentlessly. And the thing is, even oversexed. You're talking about another thing too. Another way this could manifest and pan out. Venus can be about attractiveness, and the Black Moon Lilith again is associated with the very erotic energy. And perhaps through this expression of this erotic energy, if you're in an intimate relationship, sexual relationship, and by expressing this, it might it might create more attractiveness toward you from that person you're involved with. If it's an Aries, it might be expressed very aggressively, forcefully, and very rough. Taurus, it could be in a more sensual, very demonstrative, but yet very methodical manner. And two, at this point, I mean, this transit could also be about the relationships that you might be involved in, whether it's a significant friendship or a romantic partner, might bring out that worst expression of the sign, that very negative manifestation of the sign that this transit takes place at. Say if it's in Scorpio, it could be very jealous, vindictive, obsessive energy. Say Taurus, it could be very possessive, avaricious tendencies. And also, too, this could be about, again, valuing what you don't want unveiled, what you want to keep suppressed or hidden. Say, for example, if this transit falls in Leo in the 4th house in your natal chart, there might be a very domineering, maybe side to this person that might even be arrogant, that might be, supremely attention-seeking, and it might be, expressed at home. It might even be tied with who you are at the core. And if this, especially, I would say, if that's in the same sign as what's on your 4th house cusp, in many cases it would be. And also, too, this could also manifest in, at times, remote or isolated cases. If there is a lawsuit or divorce pending, it may be associated with something that you didn't want to come out, something that was suppressed or divulged, or it might be something that might come out from the other person that's involved. Say if this is in Aquarius, it might be very idiosyncratic or eccentric or bizarre behavior. I mean, it could be like climbing up the walls like Spider-Man with the suction. You put the suction cups on your hands to try to impersonate like a Spider-Man, but that's really extreme. But you understand what I'm saying. It could also be, and say if it's in Aquarius in the 5th house, that might be done in front of children. Another thing too is that the way this could, again, being, say if it's an Aquarius, it might be something where the divorce might take place over freedom. Maybe it was matters connected with your freedom being inhibited, or given that this is very extreme energy, this Black Moon Lilith, something that you didn't want to come out. It could be over, maybe doing something, some kind of cyber crime. Another thing too is that Venus is connected with peace and tranquility. If you have the transit of Venus conjoining your natal Black Moon Lilith, it could be maybe a time on a positive end where you might be finding peace from an abusive situation, and maybe a formidable adversary, which is the Black Moon Lilith. Say, for example, If this is in Virgo, it could be a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Virgo characteristics. If it was an abusive situation, if it's in Virgo, it might be somebody that just lashes out by being judgmental, by ridiculing people, by being overly critical, just by constantly, picking at things that they don't have to pick on. Like the person that asks somebody to spray their shoes with bug spray every time they come in their house. Well, that'd be a little extreme, but you understand what I'm saying. Also, Venus can be associated with art. So this could be a time where it might be very auspicious for doing something artistic that could depict something. It could be erotic. Maybe it's a depiction of a very powerful enemy. That one you may have had. It could be, say if it's in Pisces, this could be something that would be erotic, but where you would be depicting something that you thought was a sexual fantasy of yours, and you're showing it through the picture, through the drawing, through the painting, or maybe even depicting the dark side of someone. Say if you have the transit in Gemini, it could be a picture that might show the two sides of a person, like a face being drawn and half being one person and half showing the side of another, kind of like that Two-Faced, that I think it's a Batman supervillain, Two-Face was his name if I remember correctly. And also keep in mind, the Black Moon Lilith is not all bad. It can have some positive energy if you can embrace the higher meaning of it, and say, I mean, if you have this, say if it's in Scorpio, for example, it could be, the higher meaning of it, as opposed to being maybe ultra suspicious of people, or trying to do detective work on people, or being probing with people that don't deserve it. As an example, is the a possible negative manifestation of that sign. It could be where one can actually, maybe value being Venus, doing something where they can actually, or maybe even make money, maybe solving a case. Say if it's in the third house, it could be in the neighborhood, like if there's a warrant or there's a reward or something, if there's any clues that lead up to apprehending somebody that committed a crime in your neighborhood, for example. So remember, the third house can be connected with neighbors, and I'm just throwing that out arbitrarily as an example. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.